The world is shifting. While headlines are consumed by big power rivalries, a quiet but powerful realignment is happening right under our noses. The Philippines, long seen as a U.S. ally, is now quietly stitching together new partnerships, and the countries getting involved might surprise you. In today's video, we reveal the 10 countries quietly building deep strategic ties with the Philippines militarily, economically, and diplomatically. This isn't just about aid or trade, it's about power, presence, and a future that could reshape Asia as we know it. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more engaging content. Number 10. Germany. In May 2025, Germany signed a groundbreaking defense cooperation agreement with the Philippines. This isn't just symbolic, it's a major signal that Europe's most powerful economy is entering the Indo-Pacific chessboard. The pact includes training, logistics, and intelligence sharing. Why does this matter? Because Germany has historically avoided direct military engagement in Asia. But now, Berlin is showing clear concern over rising tensions in the South China Sea, and the Philippines is quickly becoming its strategic entry point. Germany also ramped up economic commitments. Bilateral trade hit $3.8 billion in 2024. And German investors are looking closely at renewable energy and green infrastructure projects across Luzon and Visayas. The partnership is growing quietly but fast. So, while the US and China dominate headlines, Germany is working behind the scenes, quietly becoming one of the Philippines' most significant European allies. Did you expect Germany to be strengthening ties with the Philippines? What's behind this move? Number 9. France. France might not be the first country that comes to mind when thinking of Asia-Pacific power players, but it's making big moves in the Philippines. In 2025, the two nations ramped up diplomatic and economic ties, with Paris signaling growing interest in Southeast Asia. From energy to education, France is diversifying its influence well beyond the Eurozone. The spotlight, however, is on defense. France has begun training Filipino naval forces in maritime security, especially in the contested waters of the South China Sea. A 2025 agreement promises expanded cooperation in shipbuilding and joint naval exercises. Economic collaboration is also taking off. French companies are investing in renewable energy projects across Luzon and Visayas, tapping into the Philippines' growing solar market. Meanwhile, French universities are opening exchange programs to Filipino students, boosting soft power. France is clearly betting on the Philippines as its strategic partner in Asia, and with growing tensions between Manila and Beijing, this alliance is becoming more valuable by the day. It may not be loud, but it's one of the most calculated plays in the region. Is France looking for a bigger role in Asia or just hedging its bets? What do you think? Number 8. South Korea. South Korea and the Philippines share more than pop culture love. They're now deepening military and economic ties at lightning speed. In 2025, Seoul finalized a landmark defense pact with Manila, providing advanced radar systems and naval patrol vessels. The deal underscores South Korea's ambition to step up as a key Indo-Pacific player. Beyond defense, trade is booming. Bilateral trade hit a record $20 billion this year, fueled by electronics, automotive parts, and agricultural goods. Major Korean firms like Hyundai and Samsung are expanding their footprint in the Philippines. Cultural exchange is also at an all-time high. Korean language schools and cultural centers are popping up across Metro Manila, while Filipino workers are increasingly in demand in South Korea's service and health sectors. This growing social bond is solidifying the alliance beyond politics. South Korea sees the Philippines as both a market and a partner. With shared democratic values and growing mutual trust, this friendship is fast becoming one of the region's most promising alliances, and neither side is slowing down anytime soon. South Korea becoming the Philippines' new tech and defense partner. Share your thoughts below. Number 7. India. India and the Philippines are quietly forging one of the most strategic defense alignments in Southeast Asia. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s 5-day visit to New Delhi in 2025 wasn't just symbolic, it was transformative. The two nations signed multiple defense agreements covering naval cooperation, counter-terrorism, and even weapons technology transfers. But that's not all. India has promised to support the Philippines in maritime disputes with China, offering both intelligence sharing and coastal patrol coordination. For Manila, that kind of backing is invaluable in the turbulent South China Sea. Meanwhile, both countries are stepping up economic ties. Trade between the two hit a record $5.3 billion this year, with India becoming a major supplier of pharmaceutical products and tech services. The Philippines, in turn, is investing in Indian startups, particularly in fintech and green energy. With shared concerns about China and growing mutual trust, India is positioning itself as a long-term partner in Manila's future. And this alliance isn't just strategic, it's personal. Both countries see each other as democratic counterweights in a rapidly polarizing Indo-Pacific. Is India trying to counter China by teaming up with the Philippines? Let us know what you think. Before we dive deeper, give that like button a tap. It really helps push this video out to more people. Number 6. New Zealand. New Zealand might not be the first country that comes to mind when you think of Asian power dynamics, but that's precisely what makes its deepening relationship with the Philippines so significant. In early 2025, the two nations signed a new Status of Visiting Forces agreement, allowing joint military exercises and rapid disaster response coordination. Beyond defense, New Zealand is emerging as a key development partner. It has committed over $120 million in aid and infrastructure investments this year, focusing on education, agriculture, and climate resilience in rural Philippine provinces. There's also a strong cultural bridge being built, with over 80,000 Filipinos living in New Zealand. Remittances and people-to-people ties are growing stronger than ever. Student exchanges and scholarships are also helping bring the next generation of leaders closer together. For Manila, New Zealand offers more than just aid or security. It provides a values-based partnership rooted in democratic governance and sustainable development. And in today's volatile region, that kind of alignment matters more than ever. Why is a small nation like New Zealand making quiet moves in the Pacific? Surprised? Number 5. Australia. The Philippines and Australia are no longer just neighbors in the Indo-Pacific. They are now full-fledged security partners. In 2025, both nations have doubled down on joint military drills, naval patrols, and intelligence-sharing agreements to counter China's growing aggression in the South China Sea. The inaugural Australia-Philippines Defense Ministers meeting marked a turning point, signaling a dramatic elevation in bilateral defense cooperation. Australia's strategic support extends beyond military affairs. Canberra is investing heavily in Philippine infrastructure, education, and renewable energy, helping to modernize the archipelago while reinforcing diplomatic goodwill. Trade between the two countries has surged past $6 billion annually, with more bilateral projects now focusing on technology and cybersecurity. Public sentiment in both nations is shifting, too. Surveys show that 67% of Filipinos view Australia as a key ally in preserving regional stability, while Australians increasingly see the Philippines as a vital partner against shared security threats. This emotional and political alignment is fueling unprecedented people-to-people ties, from student exchanges to business summits. In short, Australia isn't just an ally. It's becoming one of the Philippines' strongest anchors in a rapidly shifting geopolitical landscape. As China looms larger, Manila knows it can count on Canberra. Is Australia stepping up as the Philippines' regional protector, or is this just strategy? Number 4. Japan. Japan and the Philippines are quietly forging one of Asia's most consequential alliances. In 2025, the two countries signed a reciprocal access agreement, allowing Japanese self-defense forces to operate more freely in the Philippines and vice versa. This defense pact is not just symbolic, it's a strategic hedge against mounting tensions in the region. Japan is also pouring billions into Philippine infrastructure and resilience programs. From subway projects in Manila to coastal flood defenses, Tokyo's influence is now physically embedded in the Philippine landscape. Trade between the two nations has soared, and Japan remains one of the Philippines' top foreign investors. Public approval is sky-high. Filipino trust in Japan as a reliable partner has hit 85% thanks to a history of peaceful collaboration and disaster relief. Meanwhile, Japan sees the Philippines as a frontline partner in protecting key sea lanes and pushing back against China's maritime assertiveness. With shared democratic values and long-standing respect, Japan and the Philippines are no longer just economic allies, they are emerging as true geopolitical twins. This partnership is reshaping Asia's balance of power in real time. Can Japan and the Philippines form Asia's next big alliance? Drop your opinion below. Number 3. United States. If there's one ally that has defined the Philippines' foreign relations for over a century, it's the United States. But in 2025, this relationship has taken on a renewed urgency as global power dynamics shift. As China pushes harder in the South China Sea, the U.S.-Philippines defense partnership is being reinvigorated like never before, signaling a new era of strategic alignment. The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, EDCA, has expanded rapidly, with new military installations and infrastructure upgrades taking place across Luzon, Palawan, and other key regions. American troops are once again training alongside Filipino forces, conducting joint exercises that prepare them for a range of complex and high-stakes scenarios. Washington has also ramped up military aid, cybersecurity collaboration, and diplomatic support, positioning the Philippines as a central pillar of its Indo-Pacific containment strategy. Trade ties are tightening as well, with mutual benefits in focus. In March 2025, a new bilateral economic corridor deal was signed, zeroing in on critical sectors like semiconductors, green technology, and digital infrastructure. The United States is now one of the largest foreign investors in the Philippines, playing a crucial role in modernizing the archipelago's energy systems and expanding its role in global tech supply chains. Critics argue that Manila is leaning too heavily on Washington and risking entanglement in a future U.S.-China conflict. But supporters counter that this strategic hedge is giving the Philippines greater leverage and deterrence in an increasingly volatile region. Whether viewed as protection or dependency, one thing is clear: this alliance isn't just back, it's being rebuilt stronger, smarter, and more indispensable than ever before. Is America still the Philippines' most important ally? Or is that relationship shifting? Number 2. Taiwan. At first glance, Taiwan and the Philippines may seem like distant neighbors with limited overlap. But beneath the surface, a dynamic and rapidly growing relationship is taking shape, one forged by shared security concerns, mutual economic benefits, and rising regional tensions. In 2025, their cooperation is accelerating in ways that are as strategic as they are symbolic. The lifting of the Philippine travel ban on Taiwan earlier this year made headlines and drew sharp warnings from Beijing. But this move was about much more than tourism. Behind the scenes, the two countries have launched joint maritime patrols, expanded intelligence-sharing channels, and accelerated defense dialogues aimed at countering Beijing's growing assertiveness in nearby waters. Economically, the partnership is deepening. Taiwanese companies are pouring investment into Philippine infrastructure, particularly in logistics hubs, smart cities, and renewable energy projects. Meanwhile, more Filipino workers are heading to Taiwan under new labor mobility agreements that offer better wages, worker protections, and training opportunities, further solidifying people-to-people ties. In a region where alliances are shifting fast, Taiwan and the Philippines are quietly setting a new standard for pragmatic cooperation. Their shared democratic values and economic synergy are drawing them closer together, even as geopolitical risks loom large. Every step they take in unison sends a loud and clear message to the world, and to Beijing, that smaller nations can stand strong when united by purpose and principle. With tensions rising, is Taiwan betting on the Philippines as a strategic partner? What's your take? Number 1. Lithuania. This might be the biggest shock on the list. Lithuania, a small Baltic nation, is rapidly becoming one of the Philippines' boldest and most strategic allies. Despite its modest size, Lithuania is punching far above its weight in global diplomacy, especially when it comes to challenging China's growing influence in the Indo-Pacific. Its vocal support for the Philippines in the South China Sea, combined with its increasing investments in Filipino tech, cybersecurity, and even renewable energy sectors, is turning heads in both Europe and Asia. In recent months, Lithuania has opened high-level dialogues with the Marcos administration, focusing not just on defense cooperation but also on disinformation resistance, maritime security, and digital infrastructure development. This relationship isn't merely symbolic. Lithuania's deep experience countering Russian hybrid threats is proving invaluable as the Philippines navigates rising tensions with China and other regional flashpoints. In response, Manila is extending trade benefits, education partnerships, and digital innovation agreements that are helping Lithuania gain a stronger foothold in Southeast Asian markets. What makes this partnership truly remarkable is the shared courage and strategic alignment between both nations. Lithuania's defiance of Beijing's pressure over its diplomatic ties with Taiwan mirrors the Philippines' own fight to assert sovereignty in its contested waters. These parallel struggles have fostered mutual respect and a deeper commitment to cooperation, proof that in today's world, shared values often matter more than raw power. This alliance may not dominate daily headlines, but it's reshaping regional dynamics in subtle, strategic, and far-reaching ways. Lithuania and the Philippines are showing the world that diplomacy isn't just about geography or GDP. It's about principle, timing, and bold leadership. With each passing agreement, they're writing a new playbook for small and mid-sized nations, carving out influence in a multipolar world. Lithuania at number 1. Did that shock you? Why do you think they're building ties now? So, there you have it. 10 countries quietly but powerfully building transformative ties with the Philippines in ways that could reshape Asia's balance of power. While mainstream coverage tends to fixate on superpower rivalries, these quieter, under-the-radar alliances are forming a new web of influence, innovation, and mutual support across the Indo-Pacific. From Lithuania's cybersecurity aid to Taiwan's trade corridors and Japan's maritime training missions, these partnerships are more layered, strategic, and consequential than ever before. The Philippines is no longer a passive observer in global politics. It's becoming a central hub for diplomacy, defense cooperation, economic strategy, and technological growth. And the countries choosing to invest in this relationship now might just become Asia's most influential players in the next decade. Which of these surprising alliances do you think will have the biggest impact? Let us know in the comments below. And if this video gave you new insight into the shifting tides of global politics, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and share it with someone who needs to understand where the future of Asia is really being shaped.